Hello, everybody. We are here for the Women's Racing League. The November event is now upon us. Hopefully, you beautiful people are going to be here for the whole weekend. And I will be your host, Creedy, and alongside me, as beautiful and gracious as she always is, it is Valen. How are you doing today?
What an introduction. Thank you so much. And yeah, we're back again with another round of racing, and I hope everybody's ready for it. I'm excited. We got some new faces. We got some people that cannot be here, unfortunately, from last month. But I think it's going to be a good weekend. I think it's going to be a good weekend.
Yeah, it definitely is gonna be so as well. Of course, for those of you who don't know, we have for the November hand, we have two new maps. Of course, we have Decadence, and of course we have. My brain is drawing a blank already. Decadence and Viridian Hills is the map. Now there we go.
That's the one. Yep.
Viridian Hills also joins the map pool, or switching out biochemistry and Nest. And it is, of course, the case where, well, we are going to see some interesting propositions. Of course, we have a new team, Fairy Tale, with Marina and Runner. Definitely going for a fairy tale run, and they can go definitely very far as well in the tournament. And
Very far?
very far, definitely. Maybe it will be. Oh, fairy tales have a happy ending, you know. That's usually the case, and I think
True.
it's a good idea to quickly show what is day one today as well in the schedule. I'll bring that up on
Yes.
the stream for everybody to see as well. So this is what we have currently as well. You can already see that Visp and Orange Car Club, due to time constraints, and of course there's Thanksgiving for US, for example, coming up as well. They weren't able to make it for the tournament, so there is a bit of a buy rounds that come into play. Equinox will have a very long rest until they can actually play, but that helps, I guess, them. But other than that, I mean, all is going to be good. And if you want to follow along, exclamation mark bracket in chat as well. You will see the exact same table.
Yes, indeed. We see, of course, Fairy Tale, the new team going up against the Catgirl Maids. Equinox, who did very well last time, they get a free pass. We have Big Bonkers versus Meow. Big Bonkers, who surprised us last month by doing a really good run, getting third place. Now they're up for a rematch against Meow, so maybe Meow has something to say about that. We will have to see. We have the Lilies, who will go up against the winner of Catgirl Maids versus Fairy Tale, and the Birds of Prey versus the Wild Things will be the last match in round one. So, of course, first we're going to have the Catgirl Maids versus Fairy Tale. The girls are already warming up on the server. We'll go to them soon, and I can't wait to see where the Fairy Tale ladies will place in this tournament. I think they've got a really good shot to go quite far.
Yeah, and as we go away from the schedule a bit here and go back to our point of view, I mean, well, a bit of commenting as well. I've been sort of a coach for them, I guess you could say as well, for the fairy tales, of giving them a bit of tips and tricks more. Not to the extent that I did for Orange Car Club in the beta season, but I've been giving them a few helping hands as well around. So helping them figure out the bigs and bans, and I'm sure they will do well. I do believe they will. They are definitely top 3 contenders. How far they can go, I think it depends on the day, but I'm happy for it. They seem to be ready to go very strong times on the leaderboards as well, and I mean, all the only thing left is to race. Basically, that's all there is to, and they will be on our screens for the first match as well.
Exactly. We've got, of course, the Birds of Prey, who won the first step and were not there for the second step. They are back now. So I think they're going to do very well as well. But first, they have to beat the Wild Things, of course, in round one. But they are definitely contenders for the first place here. We're going to the picks and bans. Catgirl Maids versus Fairy Tale. Marina is banning the first map here for the fairy tales, and it's going to be Viridian Hills going to be banned. So one of the new maps already out of the rotation for this match, at least. Decadence is going
Oh,
to be the
no
second
new
one
maps today. GG, we
out
picked
of
the
the
maps.
rotation. So we won't see those just yet, but it is Attention that we're going to see first, picked by let me see, the Catgirl Maids. And the last map, or the second pick, is going to be Celestia, and then Supination as the random map decider. So attention, Celestia and Supination are going to be the first maps we're going to see today. We're not going to see the new maps quite yet. Maybe it's a matter of having practiced them, not being as comfortable on it. I'm not sure. But we'll have to see if we see them later in the event.
Mm-hmm.
So that's those are your maps today. Let's see how this first match, basically a seeding match, is going to end up. They are still warming up. The match is going to be starting soon, and of course, it's going to be a best of 3. As always, you need to win a map by winning 10 points for your team. And if you win a map, that brings you a little bit closer to winning because you only need to win 2 in total, and that will win you the match. So let's see how that goes with the warm up here.
Indeed, and the most interesting part as well. Yeah, we won't see the new maps quite yet, but I feel like in some sense it does make sense because, as you said as well, these are new maps. Maybe you want to reserve them a bit as well, and Viridian Hills, of course, is a very simple
Maybe
map
there's
as well.
secret weapons as well.
Could be, and I mean, the fact that Viridian Hills is a very simple map, you need to be confident that whoever you play it against, you're gonna beat them on that map as well.
Yep.
Because Viridian Hills is sort of a map that can cater towards everybody, but it does have one specific part or the one drift that can make or break it as well. So it's hard to say where people stand with that map. I mean, we will see. You know, that's we will hopefully see some of that happen. I already see that Misfit Mate says in chat as well, manage your expectations on the seeding match. So, I mean, you know, you're here to have fun. Yeah, that's the most important part. As we see Runner in the wall, see, you already have a chance. Unfortunately, it is the warm-up, so nothing to really go by there. But, I mean, that's how the cookie crumbles, and we will start the first match of the day, the seeding match. Well, technically it's not a seeding match. It's just that the teams that are the lower ranked in the standings do have to sort of finagle their way throughout the tournament. And we see that Fairy Tail at least is off to a fairy tale of a start as Misfit Mate has a bit of a fumble to begin, and Runner and Marina are definitely going well. Marina is going very wide. Also, chatters as well. If you can tell me if my audio is too loud or not, because I haven't casted on a long while, so I don't know if I'm too loud compared to Vey and such. So do let me know. I can lower myself a bit. You know, we want that equal audio. Hopefully, some Windows updates haven't ruined it as such. But for now, I mean, Miss is doing a decent job at least at holding on to second position, and Miss Fate hasn't had the best of starts for this first round. But for now, at least, I mean, it is a victory and at least some points on the board for both teams.
Exactly. Runner making a slight mistake there and being overtaken by Miss. So it is Marina taking a first place in this first round, taking 2 points on the board, and the Catgirl Maids get 1. So it's still very close, of course. This map is built by Rabbi. We're going into round 2. Let's see if the Catgirl Maids can do something there. But I see a mistake there right from the get-go. Misfit Maid, unfortunately, clipping the start there. So it is now Marina and Runner in first and second position. Actually, Runner, oh, so many mistakes now. Miss and Runner both clipping multiple times, and now it is still Marina and Runner in first and second position. Let's see if Miss can maybe snack some points back here because maybe it's the nerves of the first round. She is driving closer to them. She might even overtake Runner, and she does. But Runner has a little bit more speed out of the exit there, so we'll keep that second place for herself. Here comes the last bits of this track. Marina and Runner now running away with it a little bit. No, it is Miss who is overtaking. Marina does look to take first place here, but maybe Runner has more speed and she does not manage to snipe. But look at that, 13 thousandths of a difference. It is really not very much. We have the same result as last time. Marina with a good first place here, already taking a lot of points for her team on the board. We're going into round 3.
Yep, and while you were having a good time casting that round, I realized that OBS had a fun time removing the in-game sound source for some reason. So for the first 2 rounds or so, everybody was Yekosto to some extent half Viecosto, as they didn't hear the in-game sounds at least. But at least now it works. Do let me know if the audio is good or not. But I mean, overall, Misfit Maid hasn't had the best of time on this map. But I mean, Miss so far has been at least giving a bit of run for the money for the. Yeah, she's been up there. Runner, always on the tail of Runner. Marina, she's sailing towards better times at the moment, already looking towards the sunset on this map. But Miss could still contest for some points, and I mean, it builds confidence, for the rest of the tournament. It won't be the final match Misfit Maid and Miss will play as. I almost missed it, but she does get there in the end. It won't give them points. But it does give her the finish. So it is 3 points for the Fairy Tale, going 2-7 up already. And for those curious where it says seeding 7 to 10, those are the placements basically of the teams that are playing. We are sort of seeding 7 to 10th place to go into the main bracket to some extent. So that's the idea behind that top right thing, at least for those people confused as well.
Taking a bit of a wide line there.
Yeah, but Marina's Marina's been doing good so far.
She's been doing very good, but she did have a little bit of an error there. But because Miss also making an error now, Marina is once again able to overtake that. Now neck and neck with her teammate Runner, going for that second ace position here. And let's see, Misfit Maid is 7 seconds behind now, not having a great time on this map indeed. But hopefully the next maps will be more in her favor. Runner and Marina, they're just driving a good first map here, and if this is the position to finish in, that is map 1 in the pocket. Actually, it is Marina with a respawn, so Miss manages to snipe that second place, and the map is not over just yet. We are going to another match point, but I mean, the Catgirl Maids need to like ace 3 times in a row now for this to work out for them. So it's a big hill to climb. It's not impossible, but they do need to get points now, and I hope for them it's possible, but it's not looking very good.
Yeah, I think also that the Misfit Maid did a bit of wrong math in the end. I didn't think she because she didn't start the round to begin with, and Runner does hit the wall. But yeah, the mistake Marina made in the end, as a coach for them, I will make a mental note of that. That shouldn't be happening. That's a very simple mistake to avoid, and that could cost more points against, for example, Birds of Prey. Imagine doing a mistake like that against a team like that, or even other teams as well.
They will snack you for it.
Oh, they will definitely. They will enjoy those birds. Will take that as a quick snack easily. But for the time being, seems that Marina is going to rectify that mistake, going relatively fast as well, and will end with a decent time. 55.3, nothing fancy there as well. Runner comes in third, and Misfit Maid will be coming in fourth. It will secure them the map, or in this case track point, going 1-0 up at the moment. Also, fun fact, I have recently checked the maps as well, and almost in every map, for some reason, Hobbit has world records. Don't ask me why Hobbit has hunted these maps. I think he's just trying to get free ad space on the stream. No clue why though. Or it's Lingo who's renamed himself to Hobbit, which would be even more funnier.
There you go. We're going to the next map, which is Celestia, made by Ellipse. And of course, this is the map where we had that incredible snipe from last week, or from last month, by Lena Kitty, who put her team in a grand final with it. Out of nowhere, she had the perfect line in the jump and took the victory for her team. That is this map with the big grass jump in the end. So let's see how the Catgirl Maids will fare on this. Of course, if the Fairy Tales take this map as well, this match will be over the seeding event. They will go to the upper bracket, and whoever loses this match will go to the lower bracket. If you type !bracket in chat, you can look at that bracket for yourself if you want to. But for now, we are in the warm-up, and we're about to start this next round. Celestia, let's see what goes on here.
Yeah, and it has been, slightly improved. It's not doesn't have a darkening effect anymore. as it did before. It still looks a slightly bit darker compared to the other maps for some reason, but I mean it's significantly better compared to what it was before. Because previously, as Misfit Maid has a bit of a fumble on the
Oh,
traditions,
runner.
and so has Runner as well after the jump. So it leaves Marina and Miss sort of tussling up in front. This map has produced some really good highlights as well. I think
Yep.
the best one was oh god, my memory is just not.
Snipe. Lena Kitty Snipe.
Yeah, Lena Kitty Snipe in the end versus Equinox. That was probably the best way to do it. Marina has an interesting landing as well, 1 second slower than the world record. Nice landing for Miss on
Nice
the after
parking
the
spot.
finish. Yeah, that's pretty
Yeah.
good though. And with a victory to start off, I mean, it seems to be that currently, Brunner is slowly getting into the match as well. You can definitely know. We have definitely seen that she has amazing times on the leaderboards, but in rounds at least she seems to still need to a bit more warm up to get into it. But I mean, if there's any place to get warm up done, it's the current first match. To prepare yourself for the gauntlet that is to come.
Exactly, and it's of course it's the first time she's competing in this event, so it
Hmm.
could just be first time jitters, maybe miss with a mistake there, doesn't quite get the drift she wants. But yeah, there's always the nerves of competing in something, even if there's not like a whole lot at stake. I mean, it's not like it's the World Cup, but still, it's a very like to win this. It's a personal thing that you really want to have on your resume, and yeah, it's a good thing to have. Marina and Runner will take the ace here, and unfortunately, Miss could not quite get that lead back that she lost, or the deficit. She could make up for it after that mistake she made. Marina with a nice time, and we're going into the next round here. Of course, the score is already 5-1 for the Fairy Tales, so that is already a big wall to look up to. 5 more points needed for them to take this map and match for themselves.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good time as Misfit Maid has another respawn on the cards. It seems that at least from the previous round, they showed some pretty good times as well, like Marina 43 high and Runner with a 44 low, definitely showing some of that match pace that they've been trying to achieve, and it doesn't seem to be stopping at the moment as both of them are pushing, and Runner and Marina both sort of chasing each other down, and this will be another 44-1,
Oh,
and it will be a 44 3, and Miss, well, makes towards the line as well. It will put the score at 1-8, so a victory will do for Fairy Tail to close out their first match of the day. And they seem to be wanting to make it a quick span and easy. We don't have time for this. Uh, we have a tournament to play. We are here to do it as quickly as possible, and it seems that they are going towards that way. Unless Miss now pulls off the best round of her life, it does look to be that Fairy Tail are going to be securing their first match of the tournament.
indeed, because it's Marina and Runner right now in that ace position, and Misfit Maid unfortunately having made a mistake. So it's up to Miss now to catch up with that. Let's see if she can maybe snack a point here. If she gets first place, that would extend the match a little bit, but it doesn't look like it. She's one over a second behind now. She has to release a little bit in that turn, and it is in fact Marina and Runner taking the ace, and with that 11-1, they will take map 2, and that means this round is over, and we will be going to the next round soon. um the Fairy Tale ladies will face the Lilies in the next round. The other matches are, of course, the Big Bonkers versus Meow, and the Birds of Prey versus the Wild Things and Eonix. Equinox. I just butchered that. Equinox gets a free pass into the next round, so they will go to the upper bracket semifinal. Yeah, so congrats to the Fairy Tales. That is a very solid first entry into the tournament.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, there they are. We
Yeah.
have a new team on the board.
That is indeed the case. So yeah, we will. Of course, that match went really well. Of course, we have given each like round 45 minutes because technically, if a match goes to all the 5 maps, it can take quite a not 5 map. It can go all not 5 maps, 3 maps. It can take a bit of a time to make everything go through. But we give ourselves time for all that kind of stuff. But we will have a pretty long break now, probably as well, so we can maybe fill a bit of time here to discuss as well. Maybe I can, whip out the old schedule bracket as well for everybody involved as well, so you can see where everybody now slots in a bit as well. As you can see on the bracket, Equinox and Visp, of course. Equinox gets the bye win through and is already up to the upper bracket semis. Big Bonkers and Meow being one of the matches. Lilies will now face Fairy Tail. And Birds of Prey will go up against the Wild Things, as Catgirl Maids have a bit of a break, and they can then look to see who will win, who will lose in the match between Big Bonkers and Meow. So definitely, plenty of things to go, but there's a lot of those breaks and stuff. Everybody has a bit of time to gather themselves as well. So we'll see how things will go, but for now at least, I'm excited. I hope we see some of the new maps though. That is the most crucial part. Otherwise, it's we already had the other maps. We brought you the new maps for you to
You want
play
to see
them.
the new ones, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. That's the point of them.
Exactly. Of course, in this next round, the stakes are going to be quite high because if you lose, you will go to the lower bracket, and you don't really want to be there. You want to get out of that as soon as possible. But yeah, once you're in it, you're in it. So stakes are high. Let's see who makes it to the upper brackets and who has to fight their way through the lower brackets, which means a lot more driving, which could be good for the warm up and the practice, but also fatigue will set in at some point, which is, of course, why we also have more rounds tomorrow. So if you don't have that on your agenda yet, make sure you put that in right now. Tomorrow, we will have some more matches coming up, including the finals. So let's see how that will go. But yeah,
tomorrow's schedule also on stream for those people who are curious. If you want to make a mental note of it, at the moment, it doesn't really give you that much value. In the exclamation mark bracket, you can also see it, sort of visualize yourself, maybe do a bit of your, sort of a bracket prediction for yourself as well. But once we come to the end of the day, then we will be able to see what actually becomes of the day one schedule. So what we can look forward to.
But 7 o'clock CEST, that's when you want to be here. That's when the first match will start. And of course, the next match will start at 9:15, which is about half an hour. So we have some time to kill. So if you want to go grab a drink or something, the break that's coming up will be the moment to do that. But I think no surprise. Fairy Tail on paper was a very good team. So they did a very good job. They dominated the match, and now they're up against the Lilies. I'm not sure what the result of that one is going to be because Liz and Lena Kitty are, of course, very decent players as well. So let's see how they match up against those. For them, it's all about finding out where they are in the league right now, level-wise. So, it'll be interesting to see them discover that and to see their battle through it.
Yeah, that is something that we'll have to wait and see. I mean, there's plenty of matches to come. We won't be able to cover, of course, all of them, but we will do our best to spread around as well. And to some extent, every negative has a positive. With the Wisp and Orange Car Club not being able to participate, we can sort of cover almost everything for the first few parts. Every team sort of gets a bit of a highlight on the first few matches. So, there's a bit of, in every, you can't have a rainbow without the rain, So, you can put it like that, you can put it on a black somewhere. If you need a positive mental attitude, you can always just read that, you cannot have a rainbow without a bit of rain, So that is something to look forward to. But unless you have something to add, or we can always quickly jump onto a break, and we have to wait for 20 or so minutes because before the next match starts.
I have a question for you because of course there's 3 matches coming up in the next round. We've got Big Bonkers Meow, Lilies versus Fairy Tail, and Birds of Prey versus Wild Things. Big Bonkers versus Meow was a very heated match last time, won by the Big Bonkers. What do you think is going to happen this time? Is Meow going to come back with a vengeance, or Big Bonkers? Are they going to do it again? What's the plan? What do you think?
I mean, overall, the both in both cases they had rounds where they could have won, where they could have easily taken it. So it just depends who's willing, who's ready to take on. And with the new maps as well, maybe they got rid of something that they didn't like before, or maybe they have added something now that they can drive a bit more comfortably as well. As it's very hard to know. I'm looking forward to it as well, and it mostly depends on how I think how good Margie and Sarah can perform on the day, and how well Annie and Ya can keep up with everybody else, and we will go from
Yes.
there. But it will be an exciting match, but that won't be the match that we will be spectating, of course, because
Nope.
after the break we will return with the Birds of Prey and versus the Wild Things, because the Birds of Prey are one of the likeliest to take this event as well, but with Fairy Tale
They
and
are the favorites, I think. Yeah.
Equinox and a lot of other names, I mean, everything's possible. Everything's possible. But I don't know if you do. You have any specific favorite in that Big Bonkers Meow matchup?
Um, I'm not sure. It's gonna be a tough one. Last time Big Bunker surprised everybody with an insane performance after a not so good first step, but I mean, I think from Team Meow, Zara is gonna be the one who gets a lot of first places, and I think it's gonna depend on how well Ya will do. Um, uh, if she can manage to get some second places and some third places, then I think Meow might take it. But yeah, I think both teams have put a lot of practice in it. At least that's what I think. Um, so we're gonna have to see. It's gonna be a good one. I would put my money on Meow though, but I was wrong last time when I said that, so I don't know.
I mean, the prediction game is always the most complicated. We've seen that in every
Exactly.
tournament. As soon as you get new maps, new teams, new everything, and all of that, script can be chucked out the window, and you might as well just, arrive on the day and see what happens. But
Exactly. We're just gonna see and watch, and it's gonna be a good time. And I'm excited for all these matches. Of course, there's matches simultaneously, so we can't watch all of them. The first round we will witness is Birds of Prey versus Wild Things. If that match ends early, we can always switch to another match that is still going on. So hopefully we can see something else. Um, but yeah, that's the plan.
mhm,
Yeah, Critty. That was my question. The prediction. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good.
we
There's
have a
some
lot of good
rematch
stuff.
tension going on there, I think. So it's gonna be a good one.
I mean, the rivalry between the Big Bonkers and Meow will continue, I'm sure. But for the time being, the only thing that will continue is the continuation towards this break and your trip probably to the kitchen as well to grab some snacks and whatever you need to do in between before we get back. Keep an eye on the stream, and I'll put up a timer for you all as well so you can take a look at when we will return. But for the time being, we'll be right back.
See ya.